Good evening and welcome to City Pulse. Now, if you or someone you love has ever struggled with weight, then tonight's episode could be useful. Everyone's heard that obesity is a global crisis, so how does Gibraltar correlate? Our special guest tonight is a GP at the GHA, Dr. Reena Verdi. We'll discuss the most common causes of weight gain, metabolism, weight loss medications and treatments, the potential risks involved, and hopefully seek out the unprocessed truth about why the average weight of our species continues to rise. But before then, un poquito de cardeo. Triple hello to Julian Felice, Heidi Jeffries, and Paul Perez. ¿Cómo estamos?
Good evening.
How's it going? Heidi, your debut on the City
on the City Pulse today.
Yeah, how's it going?
Lastminute.com.
I wanted to talk first about Gib Talks. Ya queda poco, less than
2 weeks. Yeah, a week on Saturday.
Excited, nervous, a bit of both?
Excited. See, I think we're well beyond being nervous. Yeah, we've done it so many times and it's gone very well. And I have a lot of confidence in the team that helps me to organise it. Yeah, we're really, really excited.
This is 2015 was the first one, but then chuck in COVID.
It's our 11th edition. This is going to be our 11th edition.
Wow.
Okay, so you didn't stop for...
We did.
But there's only
you can work out the
years.
maths on your own. Well, Robin,
There's only,
in your own time. It does work out.
It does work out?
It does work out.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, okay, fine. Bueno, so talk to us about the lineup.
Well, see, we're very excited about the lineup that we've got this year. We've called a couple of speakers who spoke at that first edition of Gib Talks back in 2015 to come back and talk again. We've got Peter Montegrifo, who's speaking again. His talk was very, very popular and successful back in our first edition. So it's a pleasure to have him back. We've replaced the red letters that you see.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah. See, I think it was the colour scheme was a bit too similar to another popular talks event that we won't mention the name of, a more global brand perhaps. But I see. These are just some of those images are from about 170 something speakers ago. Really,
wow. Plenty of familiar faces as well. Do you guys have any kind of like memorable talks from down the years? Ones that particularly stood out?
I'd say Mary Chappie. Mm-hmm. My favourite one. That woman was an inspiration to me already, but then listening to her, it goes down as one of the best talks I've ever heard.
I sometimes wonder, like when you propose it, when you invite someone on, what's the general reaction? Because it's a lot to be asked to talk for 15 minutes about yourself.
I think in our early years, the reaction was a bit more uncertain, perhaps. No, people didn't know the events, they didn't know what it was about, they didn't know what to expect, and so I remember the first few years meeting up with every single speaker individually, and that took up a lot of time, and not quite convincing, but reassuring and pointing them in a certain direction. Now they don't react like that at all. They've seen it, they are familiar with it. A lot of people want to do it, but a lot of people are also very anxious about doing it. No, so yeah,
understandable. No, it's
a bit of a.
And encima, it's like to talk about yourself. Like I could talk about for 15 minutes about football or about food, but like talk about yourself for 15 minutes.
It's a bit difficult, no?
Yeah.
Like let's blow our own trumpets, like un poquito for 3-4 minutes.
I've got to ask. Mm-hmm. I imagine most people say yes, particularly 11 years down the line, but there's got to be a few that have said no.
You know what? Not a lot of people say yes. I'd say out of every 5 people we approach, 3 or 4 will say yes, and 1 or 2 will say no.
That's a pretty good average.
See, not a bad average. No, it's better than it used to be. and actually, one thing that we've commented a lot is we tend to get no's from female speakers more than male speakers.
Interesting.
Women are a lot more reluctant to do this than men are, no? And I think that says something, even though we're providing this platform and we've had some fantastic female speakers. I mean, you mentioned Mary, so many others. And there are a few who we ask every year.
Julian, we want names and
name and shame.
I know you're trying to use names. I mean, one of them works in this building. She works very high up in this building.
A bit of trivia.
She's everyone's boss in this building.
Right, okay.
Paula, we want you.
Paula, how dare you?
Sorry, Paula. Sorry, I do apologise for outing you. But you know, I mean, Paula has her reasons, and they're very legitimate reasons. And but it would be lovely to hear from her, because as I said, we want female speakers, especially female speakers who've really got good stories to tell and who've come a long way. Someone who shared the sofa with me a few weeks ago, Alice. Whenever I approach Alice, kind of around late summer, early autumn, she won't even let me ask. She's like, I know what you're going to say, and the answer's still no. But I'll still keep trying.
I'll try again and again.
Alice has got so many stories to tell.
Aho.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure she can manage 15 minutes very easily. But bueno, it's their decision, and hopefully one day they will say yes.
Mega, more names.
Those are my two main ones.
No,
really.
come on.
There must be. You've only mentioned
That's the only
females. Let's get a male.
11 years.
See, no, those are our main ones, really, because we approach them every single year. Yeah.
It's not that bad, too.
Actually, this
in
year,
11 years.
That's really
this
good.
year,
pretty proud of
funnily
that.
enough, we had no's from a few ministers, actually, which is quite surprising, because they normally say yes.
Si.
But this year we were turned down a little bit.
I think from the minister's point of view, it's a chance for them, no, to kind of like show. I don't want this to sound kind of crude, but show the human behind the politician a little bit, because all we ever see of them is them on the Chronicle or them on GBC.
Formal, very...
Yeah. Press release space, no?
Yeah, exactly. In Parliament, yes. So this year we've got Sergio Bossano coming
Joe Bossano's
on.
going to be speaking to us. He's already spoken before as well, but he's returning to speak to us this year. And I mean, he's got lots of experience, lots of stories to tell. So the challenge with him is keeping him to 15 minutes. But he's done it once. I'm sure he'll do it again.
Have you ever had someone who has asked you if they can come on?
Oh yeah, many. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
And in fact, it's getting more and more common now. I would say now maybe out of our program, maybe between a third and a half might be people who've actually approached us. And that is growing, actually. More and more people are approaching us and to talk, which is great. We like people approaching us. It makes our job a little bit easier. But also, there's
Paul was saying before the show that he wanted to come on and speak.
Another problem would be keeping it to 15 minutes.
No, yo hablo por lo codo.
But yeah, and it's good that more and more people are step forward. I mean, people also need to understand that we need to strike a really fine balance, no? We can't have, for example, two or more people from the same world, let's say the same background.
Yeah, there's got to be something for everyone.
Absolutely,
like with the Lit Fest and with everything,
But yeah, we have a few speakers this year who did approach us, and we jumped on that opportunity, definitely.
Saturday, January the 31st.
That's correct.
Tickets available online.
On buytickets.gi, yeah.
15 quid?
Well, there's tickets for the morning session, for the afternoon session, or for the full day, depending on what you want to do. And we have a lot of people who come every year and they stay there for the full day. They're very, very familiar faces in our audience. Right, and I look forward to seeing them again on the 31st.
That is if you have the money in your wallets, because La Cuenta Enero is
vea.
full force. Heidi
Ya
nods
estamos
her
ya,
head.
like, struggling, ¿no? Estamos ya... Is it near? Is the end of the month near?
People feeling the pinch.
Sí.
This is the longest period, no, of the year. Is it about sort of 6-7 weeks?
I think so.
Sin paga?
Sin paga,
Sin
because
paga.
what is it, the 18th? Most people working through government get it paid on December the 18th or something.
Yeah.
So still then.
Yeah.
You
Bueno,
struggle.
It's a stretch, eh?
I get paid on the last day of the month, 31st, if it falls on a Friday.
Ah, right, okay.
Nosotros, the last day of the month. Con que, in a way, like,
That
Christmas...
works.
Sí, Christmas, like, we're struggling. Y el 31st of December, cobramos.
Claro, it's
So-
true. It's true.
Pero la cuesta de enero, we feel it también.
Sí, no?
Claro que sí.
Yeah.
Sí, sí.
You were saying before that they've got an interesting kind of
I've heard
tweak
that
to the system in the UK, no?
In the UK, there's some places where your January pay will come somewhere between where your Christmas pay came and your normal pay would come. So perhaps rather than waiting 6 weeks, you might wait 5 weeks, and it kind of helps to soften the blow and transition that change a little bit. I don't know if that's if that's an option. And
Not a bad one.
Pero mira,
Los January sales, I'm just staring at me, they're staring at me, and
Y birthdays
like-
también.
like the devil on my shoulder. I can't get anywhere near them.
January sales. Shein, que la cosa está muy baratita también en Shein.
No to plastic. Fast fashion, no puedo.
Okay, anti-Shein.
I am anti-fast
Anti-Shein?
fashion. I can't handle it. It's plastic, it's all fake, and it's literally
know.
made with child labor or like, you know, slave labor
Yeah.
laws like being really lax.
Toma,
I'm
Heidi.
feeding that into
Toma,
you.
Heidi.
And it's all over the world. Sorry, okay, I do this everywhere I go. Otra vez
One
soy
thing,
negative.
one thing I don't know is all over the world, but is certainly present here in Gibraltar, are derelict cars like all over our roads.
There.
A recent government campaign, you'd have seen over 60 cars without MOT removed from our roads.
Yeah,
¿Qué pasa? This is since I was a kid. This has been an issue. I don't know how, if it's a forever issue. Was this a thing when you were younger?
Sí, hombre, of course.
Yeah, just sort of
I remember.
coche
and,
por todos lados.
coche por- and especially in El Quarry,
Or in a lighthouse también.
in a lighthouse.
The lighthouse, they did a massive cleanup, about a year ago, where there was no parking. And de pronto it's like all of Nuns Well is open.
Yes,
No
true.
parking during the night for the area just in front of the lighthouse area. It's fantastic. It's what's needed.
Claro.
Like there's no place to park in Giv anyway on a normal
Especially
day.
with the relatively new sports stadium, so much more sort of life down there.
Claro, there's a lot of people coming up and down, and if there's no parking, you can't use the facilities. You've booked and you can't use it. ¿A dónde mete el coche?
¿A dónde mete?
Yeah. We've got some old footage, and we're going back to the 80s, I believe. So like some absolute bangers in here. Check
Where
out
the hell is that?
check out some of these.
I don't even recognize where that is.
Look at the state
Oh, wow.
of some of these. This is Lamport Ditch. 39547. Name
¿De
and
quién es
shame.
esa
Who owned
matrícula?
that car? Who owned it?
Se ve como lottery ya, ¿no?
Uy, mira.
Beautiful stuff.
It's on stacks y todo. It's not got wheels. People, come on.
And so obviously what this does is it free, so a large percentage, not of these in the 80s, but of the ones removed today, a large percentage of them were in Grand Parade. I don't know if you had noticed it prior, but that was...
The thing is, you don't have to abandon your vehicle. No, there is a scheme where if you don't need your vehicle anymore, you can report it to the relevant department and they will come and collect it for
they
you.
will collect it
There's
for you,
no
so
need
llevan.
for you to just leave your car there for as long as it takes, because I believe there's a process, no, before you can get rid of an abandoned vehicle. I think it needs
Yes.
to be advertised, no, y todo, and people
it comes
given the
out in the
chance
press.
to collect it. But you don't have to make the authorities go through that. You can just report it and have it collected. I mean, I will say that I did that with my old car and I got fined 3 months worth of fines because it didn't get collected in those 3 months.
Oh, really?
But the fines were wiped out, no?
Vale.
But okay, maybe that scheme needs to maybe work a little bit faster. But like I said, we don't need to have to go through this whole, palaver of getting permission almost to get rid of an
get
abandoned
rid of it.
vehicle. Just report it, you don't need it anymore, and they will literally get rid of it for you. That's un favor a todo el mundo.
I mean, not to state the obvious, but like Gibraltar space is at an absolute premium, no? So just to declutter some of this, it feels great to me. I don't know about you.
It feels great to me. I can imagine que en la Caleta area, there's loads to be thrown as well. Because in summer, there's loads of old cars everywhere.
Sí, verdad.
Can't get to the beach because these old cars are taking up space and you can see the level of like dirt on it. Where you're like, yeah, come on, this is time for throw it over.
Yeah. Speaking of old, and by the way, some of my segues tonight have been on point. You've been impressed with some of my segues.
Very good. So we should have you on Jib Talks.
Speaking of old, we learnt a couple of weeks ago that Top Man is returning to. Are you anti Top Man too? Are you okay with
Semi, it depends on the line.
Sorry, not Top Man, Top Shop.
Aita.
Top shop.
They're coming back in like a pop-up format.
In Aita, in
Why
Emporium
don't
or something.
have
Are you okay? Are you green-lighting this conversation? Are we okay to...
It's under better management now. It's no longer under Sir Richard Green, I think it was, or something like that. Or Philip Green, I can't remember. But yeah, it was horrible back then. He was,
Philip Green es primo del dueño de Shein, ¿no?
puede ser también, actually.
Primo hermano.
And so anyway, it got the team thinking about kind of like old shops in town. And then I thought, poof, this is a gold mine here. So we've been asking people to get in touch all day, and a massive thanks to those of you who did, like loads and loads and loads of old shops. So which ones like spring to mind?
La Ganga. I just
Ganga,
remember where it was
iconic.
all of those toys in that shop, and the people that worked there were fun as anything. I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be old shops as well, but like shops that have carried on but have changed and pivoted, like VJs. It was music at one point. There's nothing music in there.
Music now, toys y todo.
Well, I think before
that's
music, it was
true,
a clothes shop.
Come on.
You know, and before music, it was like a clothes shop, I think. And it had tapes at the back of
At
the
the
shop.
back of the
Yes,
shop
records and
every
tapes.
See?
Y de Den Wristbots,
Ah,
acuérdense de Den Wristbots.
La tienda de Thop.
La tienda Thop.
O Lipton's también, donde estaba M&S.
Lipton's is where M&S
Lipton's.
was, yeah.
Cinderella.
Donde estaba Cinderella, ¿eso qué era?
Cinderella, tienda de zapatos.
No me recuerdo.
Cox no, Cheers.
Vale.
Ahí enfrente estaba.
También.
So what we're watching
Cinderella.
now is some places, some foodie places, been and gone. Viceroy. My
Viceroy.
parents used to go all the time. I remember Viceroy. Too spicy for me. I mean, a lot of these, I'm a
Banters.
90s kid. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of these are sort of before my time.
Sí,
I'm
before
trying
my time too, yo no me acuerdo de streams
Estaba, what was it?
tampoco.
Hoa's Sports Shop, no?
Hoa.
Shop, yeah.
Hall's Sports Shop is,
Yep.
is an iconic one.
Yes.
Opposite the Horseshoe
Yeah.
Ahí está.
Pub.
There was también como, what was it? The nature shop that used to sell crystals and all these things as well in casemates when
the
they first
body
opened.
shop.
Yeah.
Body shop,
Body
classic.
shop.
The Body Shop.
Oh my God, me encantaba el
Where was
mask.
the
a mí.
Body Shop? ICC, no?
No,
Euphoria.
opposite, Euphoria.
Yes, yes.
Opposite Mother
yes,
Care,
yes.
which is
La
Mango
Ganga,
now.
mira, Paul.
Ole.
La Ganga.
Ole la Ganga.
But it's shops like that you think like que lástima, because those were like home sort of family-based businesses.
Yes.
And look
Yes,
at town now,
Michael's.
it's mainly like
It's more kind of franchise, you know? And
franchisey, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's like que lástima, we've lost that like homegrown mum and dad sort of like shops that
true, eh?
led through the
Ay,
family.
y the cake shop que estaba, my husband used to love it, el cake shop que estaba por detrás en Engineer Lane, La Predilecta.
Oh,
That one, Jam,
sounds
no,
tasty, but
before my time.
I never went.
Golden Eagle store.
Tan vieja no
remember
soy,
that?
Robin?
Some
Who
shops
remember-
also,
I need
they...
a checkout. Tesco's.
Tesco's.
También, es verdad.
Some shops don't lose
Pero
their
de toda
identity
la vida.
tampoco. Because La tienda de Adamberry
Adam Berry.
has
that-
not been
out.
owned by that family for decades.
But they still call
but
it.
it's still
They
called
still
La,
call
La
it.
tienda de Adamberry, you know, next to the Angry Friar.
Sí.
Yeah, and it's been owned by Monica Rich's family for a while, and yet
Yes.
it's La tienda de Adamberry.
Yeah.
And you know,
Isa.
That was a big one.
Nothing against the current sort of like, you know, owners, but I'm just a sucker for legacy and stuff.
Ahí está
Ahí está
Body
el Body
Shop,
Shop,
¿lo
venga.
ves?
El body,
Body
shop,
shop.
yeah,
You
yeah.
remember, tú también eres de Picton igual que yo,
que ver.
la tienda de Rose
y la tienda Brooking.
y la tienda Brooking.
La tienda Brooking, yeah.
It had a name, pero como Mr. Brooking was la tienda Brooking y Rose was la muchacha que trabajaba ahí. Y ya, which was LA Bakeries, ¿no? Creo que era.
Bueno, esa es la
You're right,
panadería.
Paul, it's
La
lost that
panadería.
kind of
It's lost the
that
like roots to
homely
gym.
family feel, no?
See, it's colder. It's more just mass production capitalism being pumped out. I have no problem with it because I already sound enough negative on the show. Pero I get this all the time. Pero I feel like we've lost that like localized thing where it's like
Yes.
products that were for us, by us as
Speaking
well.
of localized, no shop more local. And it wasn't in town, but it was in Jib.
I know where we're going.
This one right here. Much
Last
cheaper.
shop in Europe, much cheapness.
Es que much
my
cheapness is just the best thing in the world.
With that
Lighthouse.
random pyramid at the front that
Acuerda
everyone
el
used to
gold
jump
ese?
on.
The iconic photo that nearly everybody went there para tomarse la foto with a pyramid.
Yeah.
Oh my
Brilliant
God,
that,
who
eh?
owned?
Who I mean, get in touch, citypulse@gbc.gi. Do we know who owned
No sé.
that
They
last
used to
shop
have like
in Europe?
this other building on the side. It used to be a disco at one point.
Yeah.
The building on the side.
Goggles.
Yes.
Goggles.
Which literally, think about it,
Goggles.
where better to put something like that in Jib, but in the lighthouse where no one's going to complain because
Yeah.
anywhere you are in Jib, everyone gets complaints over things. And I think it's things like that.
Nowadays.
See, nowadays, but back then no one was
because
complaining.
back then, no había noise complaints.
No,
Also-
eso existía.
Also, do we know if much cheapness, as beautiful as it is the most cateto thing ever, or was it tongue-in-cheek?
Yo creo que era cateto, como I don't know what I'm putting, y es como más cheapness. Pero a lo más bruto que hay, como más cheapness.
A los llanitos.
We don't know for sure, no? Like,
No idea.
No idea, no sé. But see, that's...
That's brilliant, though.
I hope that
goggles,
Seamus
Joe.
Byrne has been in touch. Dr. Eva Carneiro also said no to Jib Talks. There you go.
Yes, she did. Thank you, Seamus, for the reminder. Yes.
And she's been named and shamed.
Michael
Seamus keeping us honest.
Michael Faria, our sources have confirmed. Michael Faria? Michael Faria was the owner of that shop.
Michael Faria.
Faria.
Does Bubbles still exist?
We Bubbles.
Does Bubbles still exist? That was I remember
It's
Bubbles.
not called Bubbles
is still
anymore,
there.
no?
See, see.
Bubbles is still there.
Bubbles is still
Yeah.
there, and with
It's
the
a
same
little
owner.
shop.
Yeah.
Bubbles used to be owned by one of your colleagues' family.
Can you stop being so coy, please?
No, but it's true.
Look, not the same family either.
Bubbles?
James, well, one of your directors, James.
All right,
His
okay.
family used to own Bubbles.
Really?
You know, that's a classic, though. Eh?
Classic. Heavy classic.
It's
Open
still-
until the
it's
late
still
hours
there.
on a Saturday. You could run and get chocolate, sweets, everything.
Yeah. And the sweet shop in Casemates, which was there quite
one?
recently, no? The big sweet shop in
Encasement?
Casemates.
Which one? Candy Castles?
No, Candy
The
Castles
origi-
is there
the
now.
original
I know
sweet
heavy
shop.
blank with things.
The original sweet
Ah,
shop.
look.
The original
Loco.
sweet shop, like where...
Inside the arcades.
Yes.
El
Yeah.
original sweet shop. Eso,
ahí.
eso lo tenía Yvette Ignacio, ¿no?
No sé.
Pero me cantaba esa tienda. Amazing.
Oh, los pear drops.
Oh, sweet.
The aniseed balls with the actual aniseed
Uy, qué
inside.
asco.
Oh, qué bueno.
Qué asco.
Que va, Robin.
Dice
¿Sabes lo bueno
Jamaica,
que es?
I can't.
Oh, me
You couldn't
encanta.
pay me. You couldn't pay me to have one of them.
Para GBC Open Day, venga.
¿Verdad? Actually, we start the
Anything for
campaign
charity.
now.
You can't find that anymore, ya. The aniseed balls with the aniseed inside.
Buscamos todavía. If he's going to do it for GVC, we'll do it.
Eso ya, uf.
A very special thanks. We received loads of pictures of old shops in town. We weren't able to show them all. Just a quick shout out to the likes of Chris Walker, Jai Prakash, Tito and Maite de Torre, Jeremy Clifton Seiler, hi Jeremy, Alex Martin, Andrew Smith, many, many more. And again, citypulse@gbc.gi if you would like to have your say on any of the topics discussed. Time now to fly the nest. In recent weeks, we've been to Singapore, Australia, Canada. Tonight, somewhat closer to home.
Good evening. My name is Shaquin Relay. I live in Romford, which is part of Greater London. Well, coming up to about 44 years. I left in 1980, the summer of 1981, I think. Well, you have to go back then, no? Entonces la frontera estaba cerrada. And people of my age, we sort of, everybody knew everybody and you just went round and round in a loop. Y entonces había mucha gente that wanted to see más mundo. And I was one of them. Y I came to London on holiday to see my mum's family. Ella tiene 6 brothers aquí. Y mira, I never went back. I think by the time I went back to Gibraltar to try and stay there, it was ya a bit complicated because I'd been out for so long and I'd traveled so much. And when I did want to go back to live, I met my husband, Paul, who's also from Gibraltar, Paul Enrile. And actually he lived here in Wembley. And so we hooked up to this day. Pero no, con todo y eso, ya puede ser 44 years que 70 years. My heart is in Gibraltar, como yo digo siempre on my TikTok account. A mí no me lo quita nadie. Tú sabes, llanita through and through, even though I'm Indian, but I was born in La Línea. And my dad took us to Gibraltar when I was 6 months. For me, I hold Gibraltar very dear to my heart. I mean, yo cuando llego en el avión, que I was there in August for a little while, cuando llego en el avión, créetelo, que a mí me entra una cosa. Cuando veo el peñón, I don't know, I must be the happiest person on the plane, con todo lo llanito, pero para mí it's very special, y para mi marido as well. When I grew up in Gibraltar, teníamos de todo. From art, a la música, a drama, a deporte, a todo. I mean, even though the border was shut and even though many of us wanted to move away and abroad, to be honest, both of us, we always talk about this because we have such fond memories of how much we had in abundance. In abundance. I mean, we had 3-4 cinemas. We had the stadium, we had the casino, una pila baile, una pila discoteca that you could choose from. No era nada que there was one, you could keep going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, ¿no? Los restaurantes, yo me acuerdo de la tienda Emporium, the old Emporium, Beanland, Strickland, Salvador, El Muelle, no sé, a lot. We had a lot, and I grew up in a very happy Gibraltar, full of everything, except one thing, que you were encerrada. Ay, mi Paco. Mi Paco. Mi hermana Sanguita y yo, actually, fuimos la que empezamos Eastern Promise, which was a combination of anyone that wanted to dance, boy or girl. Y eran, ¿sabe? It was a melting point of everybody. There was Gibraltarians and Indians y todo el mundo. And we put the show together, we put the group together, y empezamos to do shows in different places for weddings, esto, lo otro, culminating con lo más grande, the biggest contract we could get, que era the Miss Gibraltar. Y de ahí no había más. Pero bueno, we got Miss Gibraltar. Y estábamos like, oh my God, ¿entiendes? Vamos a bailar Miss Gibraltar. Y entonces eso pasó. William Gomez got involved and he supported us. He was brilliant, de cansado de William. Y habían invitado a Paco de Lucía de ahí, como hacen, ¿no? Que invitan a gente. Y yo había bailado ya y todo eso, cuando teníamos los trajes, bla, 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 y yo había bailado. This was being televised. Pero cuando estaba tocando, yo estaba vestida ya para salir. Me parece que era un barbecue o algo que yo iba. Y por eso tengo los pantalones 3/4 en el t-shirt, plan para la playa, para el barbecue. Era verano. Y yo pensé, aquí están tocando y llevan a long time tocando. Que hace falta que baile a alguien. Y many people know que a mí me encanta la bailar. Bueno, no sé si mi hermana, pero cualquiera que me conozca saben que a mí me encanta bailar. Y pasé India, te bailo la rumba la mar de bien, porque me enseñó mi vecina. Y yo dije, aquí hace falta alguien que baile. Mi hermana, tú no puedes ir. Estoy en ese Michael's Cave sentada, estábamos sentados atrás. Tú no puedes ir. Y le digo, pues yo voy ahí, me quito los zapatos y voy ahí. Porque yo voy a animar la cosa. Y así hice. Y ya eso fue, overnight sensation. Guy was sensation anyway. Esto ya era, y mucha gente se acuerda. Y actually, mi hermana me mandó que salía en la crónica because yo estoy en una foto en mi exhibition en Algeciras de Paco de Lucía. Sí. Missing everybody. Well, I speak to everybody on TikTok, pero missing everyone. I hope to see you again. Follow me on TikTok. Y if you're having churro, remember me. Me pasa uno.
Graciosa, ¿no?
That might be my favorite Janito Abroad so far. Right?
Love it. Me ha encantado.
Comiendo churro, piensa en mí.
Hay que pensar.
Up on stage, Paco de Lucia, not just anyone, performing live, and there she went. It would have been great to see more of her dancing. Perhaps we might before the night is over. We've had a couple of emails in. From Paul, does Julian remember the tartan bar or the Sadhguru linens?
Anda.
See, I do remember. I remember Paul.
Why'd you laugh?
I do remember
Enlighten
Paul.
us, ¿sabes?
I remember the beachcomber también. And
Yeah,
watching Shattered.
Nice, good stuff. Paul, not just any Paul Grunt.
I know, yeah.
And the mythical legend, Paul Grunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, time for a short break. We'll be discussing obesity with Dr. Reena Verdi alongside two individuals who've undergone major weight loss journeys. So stick with us. Welcome back. obesity has become one of the defining health challenges of the 21st century. Worldwide, adult obesity has more than doubled since 1990. Adolescent obesity has quadrupled. The World Health Organization estimates that obesity contributes to over 4 million deaths globally every year, making it the second leading cause of preventable death after smoking. Here on The Rock, the latest GHA figures show 28% of adults are obese, 66% overweight. Dr. Reena Verdi is a GP at the GHA. Heidi Jeffries, who we got to know in part 1, and John Pizarro have both undergone major weight loss treatment and are here to share their stories. So, let's start at the beginning. Nice and simple. What constitutes obesity?
So, I mean, obesity, as we know, is a disease, okay? It's when you're overweight to a degree. So you have something called the body mass index that we use to figure out where a person is on that scale. So being under 25 would put you in a healthy range, and being over 25 of a BMI, the body mass index, would put you into an overweight range. And the higher you go, then that leads into obesity or morbid obesity. So that's how we would define obesity itself. It's a disease. And what we need to know and understand really is that it's an all-cause mortality. Now, what does that mean? It means that it has so many different ways of reaching a lower life expectancy. And that's really important to know because many people overlook obesity and being overweight as not really being that important when it really is. There's so many things to do with obesity that would lead to a smaller life expectancy, and that's really important.
So it's fair to say that we as a species underestimate the seriousness of the disease? Absolutely.
I mean, 65% of Gibraltar is the latest data, isn't it? Are overweight or obese. And that compares quite similarly to England, which is 64%, I think was the latest figure that I saw. Spain is 55%. So it is a problem worldwide. You know, there's obesity and being overweight, which is a worldwide problem, but it is already causing a lot of problems, and it will continue to do so.
Staggering that since 1990, just the sort of the exponential rise. No, and some of these statistics, some of these figures are kind of mind-blowing in a way.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I don't think the figures have changed an awful lot in the last 10 years. And I think that's because we've had so much more, and I'm sure we'll come on to it, advertising for junk food. There's multiple factors, not enough exercise, all the lifestyle factors that we'd look at. So excess alcohol, smoking, sedentary lifestyle, so not moving enough. And then your diet is a big one. That's the majority of the excess weight gain. So yeah, all of those factors are we're not improving. We're not improving them, and that's why in the last 10 years the figures haven't really changed. In fact, they're getting a bit worse. So yeah, we really need to do more as a nation, as you know, globally, to try and reduce this this disease because it's one of the most important diseases to know about.
Yeah, well, we've been lining up this conversation for sort of 3 weeks or so, and the spark that lit the fire was. And you may have seen the news yourself that since about 2 Mondays ago in the UK specifically, there has been a junk food advert ban that has come into force on television and online. This is huge.
Massive. Massive, and I think everyone needs to follow pursuit because that's going to hopefully help with a younger generation. And that's who we need to target now, is the younger generation who are very easily influenced, very impressionable. If we're advertising the wrong things to them, then they will grow on to be overweight and have that disease factor as well. So it's really, really important that we're on board as well with reducing the advertising for the wrong things for children.
It's one of them, no? Because look, I've been overweight all my life, and ultimately it's down to you whether to undereat, eat the right amount, or overeat. But marketing is sneaky, and the food giants know what they're doing, don't they?
Of course, I mean, how many places do we see with fast food,
God,
food
that
delivered
was delicious.
to your food delivered to your home? There was salad there. At least that's something. Food delivered to your home. You know, offers on things like this. It's encouraging you to get these things. you know, we mentioned it earlier, but we have a McDonald's outside the hospital. It's not ideal, you know. So these things are important to look
Got to
at.
see the funny side too. That, no, see,
You
no.
have to.
Well, actually, sometimes there is an intention behind that, and that's because if someone's been really lacking their nutrition in the hospital and really losing body mass, and they do need to gain it again, it's okay for them to go for the junk food and to try and, you know, increase it quickly. But it's not really meant to be an ongoing thing. Then that you continue having fast food. There's nothing good about processed food. It's not real meat. It's not it's not good protein. So there's not really anything good about processed food.
We'll ask Heidi and John for your journeys, your stories in just a sec. But to what extent do you, as a doctor, to what extent would you consider the food giants responsible?
That's a difficult one. I mean, promotion goes so far. So obviously they're making money. If you've got McDonald's, Domino's, anywhere like that, they'll be making a lot of money on promoting their foods. Do they take responsibility? Probably not. It's a business at the end of the day, just like the tobacco company would be a business. You know, it's not good for people to be smoking, but it's a business, so they'll carry on selling it. Alcohol is not good to consume in massive amounts, but it's a business, so people will keep selling it. So I don't think people are held accountable for these businesses, or, you know, fast food places are held responsible.
Should there be more accountability?
I think so, but having that, making that change is not an easy thing to do. It would mean, well, how would we do it? It would be very difficult. I think there's talk at the moment about limiting how much advertising there is to children on fast food. So there's the ban in the UK is limiting the times that they're advertising things on TV, what's online, and what children can access. It would be really interesting to see how that helps. You know, it could make a significant impact, but you know, children often have a way of finding things out they'll absorb things from what's going on in the household or what others are eating, and you know, I don't know. It will be interesting to see how it pans out.
John, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the sofa. 130 kilos less of you.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us everything.
I don't eat McDonald's. Here I am. Everything. It's not easy. It's very difficult nowadays. It's very, very difficult, especially I've always had like you say with you, I've always had a weight problem, always. And I've been a comfort eater. And the killer for me in the end was COVID. Being stuck at home, not knowing what to do, from the sofa to the fridge, from the fridge to the sofa, from the sofa to the oven. Who wants banana cake? Who wants vanilla sponge? Who wants a peppered steak? And
Boredom's a factor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Boredom, education. From a very young age, I think, we use food as... si eres bueno, te compro bolicita, ¿sabes? Do you want an ice cream? Ay, cállate, niña, have an ice cream.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's a very good point, huh?
And that goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on until you're 200 kilos like I ended up. I've always been a yo-yo dieter, as you call
We've got a before and after.
Oh, please don't.
Well, you gave it to us.
Yeah, I know.
All I did was ask, and you said, "Yep."
Nah, go on.
All of Jim to see.
Go on.
So we've got a before and after of John. John, if you'll just explain how much you did weigh versus how much you weigh now. That is some transformation,
That is,
John.
I
Congrats.
actually that one. I'd already lost a bit of weight, but I was even more than that. That was just there. I was probably about 190, 185 kilos. On this side there, I must have gone down to about 70, 72. Now I'm between 65, 68.
Doing very well. Heidi, how about you?
I've always been, since I was very young, I'd always been big. I used to stand out between my friends. I always remember something that stuck to me. There were two Heidis in the class. Heidi la Grande y Heidi la Chica. Siempre, always. And I've always been big, obese, always. And as John, a yo-yo dieter. Para arriba, para abajo, para arriba, para abajo. And the doctor, because I need a knee replacement, he said, you've got to lose 30-odd kilos. If not, you can't have the surgery. He
So
suggested...
that was the trigger.
That was a trigger. He suggested... I was borderline diabetes as well. Heartburn. So that was the bane of my life, my heartburn. And I was totally against the surgery for years, to be honest. And yeah, the final straw was when my knee, I'd already had, I think, about 3 or 4 injections of cortisone. I couldn't have any more. And they go, mira, I'll go and I'll start the procedure. It took 2 years. Nobody knew anything about it because I didn't tell anybody, just my husband. Nobody for the 2 years. I'd had, obviously, it's a protocol you've got to follow, a psychologist and tubes and a dietitian and all that. So
I hope I'm not being too nosy, but what sort of things are being discussed with a psychologist when it comes to...
It's not mental health. See, have you ever been suicidal? Have you ever thought about this? Have you thought about that? Because
Why?
obviously, and why?
Why do you eat so much?
Why? Yeah.
Because I suppose intertwined with being overweight for so long comes low self-esteem, no?
My sort of the beginning of my journey was different to Heidi's in a sense. I'm a lot older. Well, to put it bluntly, it was a heart attack. I had a heart attack. At the end of COVID, I had a heart attack. I didn't know I'd had a heart attack until I had 4 bypasses, 4 heart bypasses.
Wow.
I've got, not bypass, sorry, stents.
Stents.
I've got 4 stents and I had a heart attack.
And so am I right in thinking that you both, the method that you guys chose was a gastric bypass?
No.
No.
I didn't choose it.
Ah, no.
I didn't choose it.
No, sorry.
It's a
What you
journey.
underwent.
It's a journey that you go through. It's not. You don't go and sit with Melanie and say, "I want a gastric bypass. Get me a gastric bypass." No, that's
You have to
that you
qualify.
can you can do if you have it done privately. Like the people go, let's say, to Turkey or whatever, and have it done. And even then, there's a process that you have to go through. But what we had to go through, it's like Heidi was saying, you've got to try and lose weight. There's a lot of people that start on the journey, and because they don't lose weight, they don't get the
can't have the
surgery. You've got to tieni que poner de tu parte.
Sí.
And
Heidi, we've got a before and after of you too. You gave it to us. We didn't force it out of her.
Wow.
Amazing transformation. Heidi, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, it's just what are the main differences then? I mean, apart from the obvious, more mobility, that kind of thing,
100%.
just
Quality of life.
quality of life.
50.
And see, I would go through it all over again. I know that some people, they've been through several problems during the surgery. Thank God, yo como de todo. I can eat anything, drink anything, and I have no problem whatsoever. Obviously, it's portion control. We're talking about this now, a portion. Okay. When we go out, yo prefiero, I don't know about you, John, but when I go out for dinner, I prefer un tapeo.
I'm a cheap date.
Oh yeah, very cheap, very cheap. I prefer un tapeo because you can sort of, whilst a meal, I can't sit down and have a meal. And something I really hate is, ¿eso va a comer? Oh.
People.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
People are never happy. They see you fat. Que gordo está, perdido. They see you thin. Are you all right? Are you okay?
See?
Oh, you've lost a lot of weight. But what have you got, cancer?
See.
See? Has that some of it? Yeah.
Is the weight
Everything.
loss? Is a weight loss illness or because you wanted to? Yeah.
Ah.
Eso sí.
I've even had somebody sitting while we're having a meal. Oh my God, to eat like that, I'd rather die. Obviously, hasn't got much to live for.
Absolutely not. You spoke about life expectancy earlier and how obesity sort of chips away at that. So I suppose that is absolutely the most important factor here. No, they are quite literally stretching their lives.
Yeah, and it's important to know how. So, for instance, how it affects the heart. It will increase your blood pressure, raise your cholesterol levels, it's increasing your risk of a heart attack or a stroke. in terms of your lung function. It can cause sleep apnea, if you've heard of that, when you can't sleep very well because the breathing is affected. It can affect all your joints. So osteoarthritis is much higher in anyone who's carrying a lot of weight. It can affect your mental health, as we've discussed, your confidence, your anxiety, low mood. And the list goes on. It's a contributor of cancers. So for women, breast cancer, endometrial cancer, there's also colon cancer and some of the other organs. It can cause diabetes, it can cause liver disease. The list goes on. Yeah. So it's important to know all of these things are linked to being overweight. So as much as we try and ignore the weight scale or knowing what our BMI is, which I didn't mention is your height and your weight. So it's a combination of those, and everyone can figure out their BMI. If your BMI is out of range, that's when you really do need to do something to bring it down, because a lot of us just ignore it. We don't want to know. And actually, it's important to know. It's not, and it's a balance between being body positive, because it's not about body shaming. The size shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if your weight is too high and it's putting you at risk of all these other diseases, then it is important. So it's about being realistic with, you know, your life expectancy and your risk of disease if you aren't in a healthy weight range.
Just for context, and this of course is a global health crisis, but locally, roughly 1 in 4 adults are obese. 28% of local adults live with obesity. That is higher than Europe's average. Let's talk about the differences between adult obesity and childhood obesity, how it's treated perhaps. Chance to bring in the teachers now. So, as two individuals who work with young people, have done for many years, have you seen, is this like a microcosm of life here? Are you seeing it every day?
I am negative Nancy, so I will just say...
But we love you for it. Don't change. I don't want positive P. I want negative Nancy.
But I think that it's getting worse. And it's not just education. I mean, I work with 3 brilliant women who, Louisanne Bateson, Lorraine Lima, and Naomi Torres, all 3 of them educate in the food area really, really well. It's talking about healthy eating habits. It's about portion control. It's about what to have that balanced diet, the food plate. But we're seeing it. Kids are coming in. They don't even know what certain fruit are. It happened to me today. When I'm talking about fruit and veg, and they're like, what the hell is that fruit? And I'm like, it's a very normal fruit. It's in every grocery shop.
What was the fruit?
I think it was like a type of cherry. I think it was cherries or something. And they were like, I don't know what that is. It looks too dark to have that. They thought it was an olive for a while. And I was like, this is not the image. That's the problem now. But it's also down to families maintaining that healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Kids will follow what their parents do.
Education at home también.
So we can't just say, oh, it's all about the younger ones, educate them. Because they're getting educated by us, but then they go home and their food is prepared by someone else.
Of course.
So I'm not blaming
parents. A weekly shop.
I'm not blaming parents on the convenience of a fast food, a takeaway, or a ready meal.
Yes.
But those are extremely processed foods.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, those are the worst foods. They're cheaper because that's how they market them. Yeah. But that's the danger of it. If it's cheap, there must be something off.
Julian, you wear 2 hats in this conversation, teacher and parent.
Yeah.
So, and look, as a father of 2, it is, you know, after a really long day at work or whatever, you're stressed. It is quicker to stick just a few fish fingers in the air fryer kind of thing. Delicious, by the way. But, you know what I mean?
I think that is part of the problem in modern culture. No, it's modern lifestyles. People are working longer hours than they've ever worked before. We've moved away from perhaps the household where one parent worked and another didn't, to both parents working and working longer hours than ever before. So a lot of it does come to convenience and everything. I'm not sure how the impact the advertising is going to have. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that we'll have a significant benefit, like Doctor said. But an education. I mean, kids are given messages about how bad smoking and how bad drugs are from a very, very young age. We still have people smoking. We still have people taking drugs. It's the same. There is an issue, though, that, you know, a piece of fruit is more expensive than a bar of chocolate. Yes. But that is a massive issue. Fresh meat is much more expensive than processed meat. That is part of the solution, I think. It's looking at costs. It's looking at changing lifestyles as well. And that is much harder to change, I think.
I agree.
The economic factor is a big one, Reena.
Massive. I mean, the food supply, it comes down to that, doesn't it? And, I mean, this is probably more of an issue in the UK, but where you've got poorer communities and they can't afford a lot, they will go for the cheaper worse foods. So the processed foods, chicken nuggets, fish fingers.
Convenience
These things
food.
are convenience
Yeah.
foods.
Convenience
And
food.
even sometimes fast food, McDonald's can be cheaper than actually trying to prepare a meal. And people who are not educated enough to know that actually that's really not good food, it's not providing you with all the nutrients that you need, they'll continue to do that. So it is a lot about education. And like you say, you can teach children something when you're in the classroom, but what they're going home to eat with whatever's been prepared for them is a completely different story. So there's just so much education needed around nutrition. And I think this is where the dietitians do a very good job, because they are trying to get people on board individually. Some people know what they need to eat, but it's just like you said, having the time to cook. I mean, having the time to cook a good, healthy meal can take a little while. You need patience, you need the time, which a lot of people don't. There's so many factors.
Yeah, it's interesting, and also, I mean, we'll get on to weight loss jabs in just a second. That's a more sort of modern method. But if we sort of do it old school for now, for a long time, the thinking was, or the messaging was, you know, eat less, exercise more. But we now know that it's not quite as simple as that.
Yeah.
In every case.
Yeah, I mean, it's largely down to your diet. And your diet is about 70 to 80% of your contributor of your weight gain, weight loss, and then less of it is your exercise. So then it comes down to calorie deficit. And what that means is what you're taking in, what you're eating, an entire pizza, you won't be able to burn that off in a workout session more than likely. So then what you've done is you've consumed way more calories than you're actually burning off. And that's what then contributes to your weight gain. So yeah.
What about screen time? Screen time, a big factor that contributes. You mentioned, as a teacher, how big do you think screen time is in all of this? I mean, we are more sedentary than ever.
They're constant.
Not just children.
No, it's not just children, it's us as well, but we're consuming more screen time. If we're talking about modern lifestyles, we consume so much screen time compared to any other generation, and it's unprecedented. We don't know what subliminal messages we're getting from a simple advert or in a film. Okay, I always go back to smoking. I have been an on and off smoker my entire life. Every time I watch a certain film and I see someone spark up a cigarette, I find myself sparking up a cigarette. They're eating something. I've already paused it. I've run to the kitchen. I've bought out half the junk food. I'm a feeder, so anyone that comes to my house, I'm feeding them whilst I'm watching something. I see them eating, everyone should be eating. That's how I start thinking. So if that's affecting me and I'm aware of it, I teach how to eat healthy, I'm sure that kids are picking up these messages that will affect them for the rest of their lives. And it has to be down not just to parents, not just education, but there needs to be protocols and policies in place to limit, in which supermarkets are forced to give healthy sort of food at a lower cost so that we influence the whole generation of like kids coming up to young parents as well. I mean, we haven't spoken about it, but the cost to their health service in Gib, if we start eating all healthy for a whole year in Gib, we're going to get so much of a surplus money that the GHA is going to be able to have every service they've ever wanted. And then we can spend it in other areas as well. Education can get more funding. Tourism can get more funding, as long as we are all healthy. But we have to market that in the right way. And that's the tough part.
Very well said. Very well said.
perfect example.
We had a message in from Jessica. Hello, Jessica. She says, I'm a parent who actively teaches my children about healthy eating.
Bravo.
At home, we avoid junk food and focus on fruit and nutritious options. The frustrating thing is that it's constantly undermined at school. At almost every school event, children are treated with cheap, sugary junk food they would never be given at home. The message is confusing and contradicts everything parents are encouraging to teach. Dr. Reena Verdi, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look at Christmas. We're all, it's full of gluttony, isn't it? We're just eating until we're feeling sick. I mean, that's not how life is meant to be lived, but it's part of enjoyment, isn't it? That you're just eating until you're finishing that box of celebrations or whatever. And, you know, it happens everywhere. You've got sweets and chocolates everywhere. So actually, that's a really valid point, because parents may be doing their parenting in all the right ways, but they can't control what others give children, you know, treats from their aunties or uncles or grandparents. And it's very common that we give chocolates as gifts. And so I think it's about trying to change the mindset into something a bit more healthy, or giving fruit, or giving something that then we normalise this. We normalise giving something which is a bit more luxurious, like a fruit bowl or something that's healthier, rather than chocolates and sweets, which is the norm and has been for many years. So yeah, that's a really interesting point, that it's not always in the control of the parents. It's about what the external factors are as well.
Okay, weight loss jabs. This is the thing, seems to be the thing now. There are options. There is Ozempic, there is Wegovy, there is Mounjaro of sort of different costs. different marketing and stuff. What's your overall stance on weight loss jabs?
So weight loss jabs have become really common now, and obviously they're offered in Gibraltar and many other countries privately under some circumstances under the GHA if you do fit the criteria, if you're sort of on the very high end of the BMI. But they are accessible for patients if they do fit the criteria. So if you're overweight, usually over 20, and I keep referring to the BMI because I want everyone to learn about this, but if you're over about 27 with your BMI, then you usually are offered the weight loss injection. For how long depends on every individual. If you've got a lot of weight to lose, it might be a very long time that you're seeing the weight loss coming down, or it might be a short time. So for instance, my patients, my female patients who come to the Well Woman Clinic, often when we're trying to manage menopause symptoms, we're not just talking about treatment straight away, we're talking about all of the lifestyle factors. Now, females can really struggle to lose the weight when they're in the menopausal age. It's really quite disheartening because they're often telling me how hard they're trying with the weight loss and they're hardly eating anything, exercising, and they're not getting the gains that they used to when they were younger. And this is all part of hormone changes in a female.
As you get older, it gets a lot.
It gets a lot slower. Your metabolic rate slows down when you're getting older. So, for instance, in their cases, I don't think it's a bad idea for them to take the weight loss injections for a short period, just to get to their target weight and then to do the rest of the work themselves. But that's the key thing. You need to maintain the lifestyle factors and not solely rely on those injections, because then you'll find that you can't come off them. And I think that's the sort of concerning thing that I'm seeing now. It's okay for you to be taking it lifelong, because if obesity is a disease, you're managing your disease lifelong. That's great, and you're keeping all the cost, implications to the hospital and everything lower. But I think it's a bit of a shame when someone wasn't planning on doing that to feel stuck on the injection and then almost not doing the right things, not exercising, not maintaining their muscle mass. And that's really important because you lose a lot of your muscle mass when you're getting older. And I've noticed that with the injections, that could be sort of affecting muscle mass and everything else if you're not using it in the right way. So it's a massive topic. I think it's got loads of benefits, and I'm pro weight loss injections for the right people, but it has to be used alongside your weight loss, your lifestyle factors.
You mentioned loss of muscle mass. Not for this fella. Gym 3 times a week, Artio.
That's amazing.
Mafia.
You do lose.
And that's a really good example of what people should do.
Don't be so casual about it, John. Come on, man.
So humble.
It just
Monday,
helps.
Wednesday, Friday. It's 3 times more than I go.
3 times a week.
And it's more probably because I'm retired, I got a bit more time. No, it just helps. It helps. It's not your body, it helps your mind. It helps your brain.
Mental health.
Mental health.
Yeah.
It's,
All comes down to
very
mental
important.
health, end of the day.
even weight loss gives you more confidence.
Yeah.
What you were talking about before, I mean, we're talking. A lot of people, I mean, I've had a lot of people saying to me, you've lost weight, what, just to look good? Just because I've always been very into my clothes. I like to dress well, and I went through years of not being able to. I mean, I've gone from a 6 XXL to a 28-inch, which is loose waist. But all that aside, I mean, forget all that. For me, that is an added bonus.
Yeah.
What is good for me is that before all this weight loss, I suffered from sleep apnea. I've got arrhythmia, which that will always stay because that's a heart condition which I've got anyway. I had sleep apnea. I had high blood pressure, which I haven't got. I had cholesterol, high cholesterol, which I haven't got anymore. I was down for knee replacements, which I've been taken off the list because I don't
Amazing.
need them. I showed them what I could do with my legs now.
Did a split earlier.
There was no way,
Splits? No.
more or less. I'm not doing them on the TV.
I was about to ask.
Later, Robin, later.
It's for the GBC Open.
No.
You donate, he'll do it.
We were shocked.
I was down.
We were shocked.
I was down for a pacemaker, which
How old are you?
65 2 weeks ago. Well, 3 weeks ago. No, 30th of December, I was 65.
You know you'd be the first 65-year-old to do a splits live on GBC.
No,
There,
Robin,
John.
later.
Pressure.
I'll show you off
Just
camera.
before we do go, we've
My
had an
daughters
email
would kill
from
me.
Ivana. Hello to Ivana. She says, hi, unfortunately, many people work and resort to takeaways as it is so accessible, unfortunately, failing to have healthy meals. Also, I find many kids will only eat McDonald's, nuggets and chips and pasta. She says, I love to cook and experiment. My grandkids eat homemade foods.
Bravo.
And power to you, Ivana.
Stuff.
Oh, and she says she's lost 50 kilograms as well, so double power.
Well done.
to
Well
you,
done.
Ivana.
Bravo.
Well done. Well done indeed. That's all we've got time for. Just before we do go, anybody watching who perhaps has concerns of their own weight, what would you advise them to do? An email address, a phone number they can reach out to?
Well, the PCC. So if there's anything anyone wants to talk about concerning their health, weight, stopping smoking, alcohol intake, your diet, anything, the basic lifestyle factors, then just book an appointment at the PCC and we can take it from there. We can discuss the BMI and then see where they are with what they need to do
Nice
or what
one.
they can improve on.
Much appreciated. Thank you. And
you.
the rest of you on the sofa. It's been a cozy one. It's been a busy one. It's been a cozy one. Thank you. But it's past 10 o'clock, which means for an old fart like me, it is bedtime. Hope you enjoyed the show. City Pulse is back Monday, 9 o'clock next week. Hopefully catch you then. Good night.